I don't care about where she was conceived or how or who her father is. And a lot of things that, some of the things that social media, like everybody don't know about me is that I took care of other people's kids, like to the point where they thought that I was their mother. So now that I have my own kids, it hit different. It just hit 100% different. And I played that Adele song because, usually that would be to another person. And I remember when I was a young teenager and I would listen to that song and I would think to myself, like, yeah, I want to be in a relationship. I want to be, I want to have a husband and all of this stuff. But when I listened to that song today, it made me think about my kids. Like it did. I will go to the end of the earth for them, like further than what I would for a man. And I realized that they come first, no matter what, no matter who it is or what's going on. They always come first, no matter what. And it feels extremely good. Like I'm not crying because I'm sad. I'm crying because I'm happy where I'm at in life. I'm happy with the circumstance that I have. Everybody don't know the details of my situation, but I am very happy to have what I have. I'm happy to have the children that I have, and a lot of people be like,
Mommy, I'm hungry.
okay, let's go eat.
Okay.
A lot of people say like, I'm about to get off because she just woke up and we ate before we went to sleep, but we've been sleeping for a long time, like a long time. So we're gonna go get something to eat. I already prepared it, so it's already done. But a lot of people, make fun of the fact that I have two kids and the fathers aren't there and stuff like that. But my children are beautiful. They are absolutely, truly beautiful. Like I just can't get enough of them. Like I just like look at them and like today I was like hugging Ellie and I'm like, come here, Eliana. And I'm like hugging her, kissing her. She's like, Mom, okay, get off of me. Like, stop doing it. And I'm just like, you my baby. Mama? And she's like, no, no, no,
Mama?
no.
Who is this, Mama?
That's a light. And one of the things that I was thinking about earlier today, I have saw that someone said like, oh, Velvet, she doesn't need any more kids. She's basically unfit. And I was thinking to myself, like, that's such a low vibrational way to look at this entire situation because if it wasn't for me, my kids wouldn't be where they at right now. If it wasn't for me, my kids wouldn't have what they have right now. If it wasn't for me, my kids literally would be continually being exposed to abuse. And I have to unravel that, within Eliana now and Avi. I feel it's gonna be a good help with remolding Eliana and remolding that foundation that is up under me and Ellie. So I'm grateful for everything. Like it's what it is. But yeah, we're gonna go. Can you say bye bye? You say bye. Hmm?
Look at my finger.
Don't do that. That's not okay. Ellie, that's not okay.
What are you doing, Mama?
I'm talking to some people. You know these people on here? Do you know these people on here? Do you know these people on here?
Mama, who is this, Mama?
That's called an outlet. Can you say outlet?
Outlet.
Yeah, that's an outlet.
I want to put myself.
Huh?
Somebody to bit.
What?
Somebody bit my finger and suck.
Yeah, well, if you put your finger in there, you're gonna get shocked. It's called electrocuted. You're gonna get electrocuted. You know what that means?
Mama, I saw a princess, Mama.
Who you?
And a princess.
Yeah, she said she wants a princess. Ellie wants. You have to ask them, babe. I can't give it to you. Maybe someone can send a princess for you.
Mama,
But
where's the princess? We're the princess, Mama.
You are the princess.
We're the princess.
You are the princess.
Mama, we're the princess.
You are the princess.
Mama!
I don't know if they...
We're the princess.
Hold on. Pause, honey. Pause. Because I don't know if there's a princess on here, first of all. And second of all, don't be screaming at me talk about a princess. You are the princess. If somebody don't give you a princess, that don't mean that, okay, and you are the princess, okay? Period. Okay?
Mom,
But you have to
what
ask
is
them. You have to ask them.
it?
You have to ask them for a princess. Can you say, can somebody please send me a princess?
Can you send me a princess?
You have to come up. They can't even see you. Come up and ask them.
Can you send a princess?
Please.
Please.
I don't even know if they have princesses on here. I don't know
Mommy!
You want some hearts? Do you want some hearts?
Yeah, Mama.
You
Wow.
have to come up here for the hearts.
Ouch.
You want to sit on my lap? Come sit on my lap.
Oh.
Come on. No. Just. Oh yeah. Perfect. Ellie. Okay.
Yeah, Mama.
Yes. I don't know if there's a princess on here. Lord have mercy. Look, it's all your hearts.
Wow, hearts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any hearts.
Well, they sent them. See? You see the hearts?
A heart?
Mm-hmm.
Is a heart?
Yeah, you see the hearts? What color are those hearts? Can you tell me what the color of those hearts are? What?
I could one dino.
You want to feed him?
Yeah, Mom.
Do you want to change his clothes?
Yeah, Mom.
There, let's change.
Oh.
Okay. You want to be a unicorn?
Yeah,
You
Mom.
want to be a unicorn? Unicorn?
Yeah, Mama. I want the unicorn.
Okay, now choose a background.
Oh, this one, Mama. This one.
Look, what's this?
Happy gobble gobble.
Wow,
Happy gobble gobble, truly.
My turn. Wow, so beautiful.
Here, let's put them on ice.
Ice. Ice, Mom. And put.
I don't think we have enough for the ice, actually. But look, we gotta go. Come on, let's go get Avi. And let's go get some food.
Oh, no, Mom.
Come on, let's go.
No.
Okay, y'all, bye. Until next time. See you later.
No,
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
No.
And any of the girls that reached out to me, I tried to give. Happy gobble gobble, everybody. Do you guys celebrate their? I don't celebrate holidays, but I will eat. I'm going to eat. I will be eating. I'll be eating Oh, I gotta see if well, nobody celebrates Thanksgiving unless you're in America, because that's an American holiday. That's the day we slaughtered the Indians and took over the land and called it America ours. So that's what Thanksgiving is about, slaughtering. So now they slaughter all the turkeys and we call it a family day. This is Greedy's biological mother, and Shaky is going to interview them.
Give them some type of encouragement. Definitely. I mean, this whole situation is crazy. And then it just so happened, like literally just this week's almost maybe a month or so, karma into that this kind of just a super fan, someone, she gave me a testimony, reached out to me because it was getting kind of crazy to her, and people were just saying, you have to speak, you have to speak, you have to join this conversation. And I just really, this wasn't, I didn't just jump up one day and say I'm gonna do this. It's not based on money or anything like that. It's just that I'm an advocate already. I work in doing that in my life, my reputation. I have to stand up for that at this point, because when I'm working with other victims and people, they have to be able to trust who they're talking to. It's shaky, as you know, if you've been victimized or especially been through a rape or anything like that, it violates your trust. This person violated your body, and then it makes you hard to trust anybody. It's like, that's why I'm saying to y'all, like, it's no way of 8 kids, all these kids in my life, I will raise these kids. Anything that a rapist or a molester would think of, that's what I'm crazy and a psycho about. I keep one eye open on everybody. Nobody is beyond suspicion. I don't care if it's a husband, a brother, a cousin, an uncle. I got one eye open on anybody that is around my children, that around any my grandchildren, children. It's like I got one eye open because I really don't trust nobody that much. You feel me? Like when you've been preyed upon like that, like I have not raped and molested one time. Like literally when I lived in Virginia, I was preyed upon as a child. You feel me? Like literally, my sisters don't look like me. Nobody really look like me. I'm not saying I'm all of that or Beyonce, but I'm gonna be, now that I have took my voice and took myself back, and I can look in the mirror and say, hey, I'm beautiful, and I'm not looking in the mirror and seeing what somebody put into my head and projected onto me. I'm not letting nobody take that away from me no more. If people can just, take that how they take it. But we can get started, and anything you guys ask me or whatever.
Okay, certainly. I will ask. No, sister, you're doing your thing. I love it. Let me just say this to the people in the comments. I love
That hair, that hair.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Green is my signature color. I appreciate it. So let's to the people in the comments. I appreciate y'all candor. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all respect during this time. We do have in the building Miss Lachelle Stopure, or Miss Lachelle Love, as she goes by on her Facebook and stuff. And she is the mother of someone we know on the app, and that's Greedy Boys. This is his biological mother, and one who we come to her about through a story that was told to us by him and through the people he was dealing with. We did get an opportunity a few months back to hear her voice in regards to a lot that was going on. But that was taken a little out of context as well. It was gotten ill, but now you can see her. I will ask that you do not give me, but give her. She is a host on the app, and I would like to thank everyone for coming tonight and letting her tell her story. So, Mr. Shell, so wonderful to be in here with you tonight. I appreciate you for allowing me to get this exclusive first talk with you. Give me you mentioned when you were in Virginia. So are you from Virginia? You want to give us a little bit back history about who are you and where you originally are from?
Okay. Hold on. I'm just, if y'all see me just fiddling around quick on my feet, I learned something. I don't really know y'all act like that, and it's like all of the stuff jumping up. That's really none of my concern. So if I'm ignoring stuff, if some pop up, I gotta click it off. That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Can you hear me? I got my microphone on at my desk. I ain't got my big one
Leave
on,
it.
but I have my little microphone. Can you hear me?
I hear you pretty good. Does everybody in the comments hear pretty okay? I hear you pretty good.
If not, I could put my headphones on. I got like mic headphones.
No, they're saying yes, you're coming through loud and clear. You good.
So yes, we can start with like, I mean, we can start with Mythbusters. Just a basic Q and A. Like we gonna call it Mythbusters shaking.
Mythbusters. Have you ever
the origin of the mom, the origin of the family, where did we come from, etc., etc., etc. So I'm from Danville, Virginia. As I shared with you guys earlier, my area code is tatted on my neck, 24541. Born and raised there. My family originally came around from the area of Java, Virginia. We have family there, is land there. Like basically your regular small from the country family, but our looks and the reason why Abdul is able to, I mean, go to different places, and we're not gonna make this about him, but this is just a note, and he can say, hey, I'm Cuban, hey, I'm Dominican. It's because my kids look like you wouldn't know what they are because of my heritage, which is black, white, Indian, whatever else God knows. Maybe I can do a DNA and we can find out what other specific. But my kids look like all different. They some and one. This one here, him and his sister is Puerto Rican in their family. It's just they all just look different. Like you would never. Some people it just depends on how I wear my hair. Some people think I'm mixed. Some people think I'm Dominican. I went to Texas. You know, it's a lot of Dominicans, so it's just I just plug in and I mix in with just a lot of different people. So that's how he's able to do that. But my origins is Danville, Virginia.
So you've never lived in Baton Rouge, Louisiana?
Never. In life. I would love to come there and visit. If you want to invite me and show me and take me and have fun, like I've never in life been there. That would be an experience, but I've never been there ever, and he's never been there either.
So and there's no Cuban descent. There's no from the islands. Is there any type of outside of?
Not far as I know, it's just black, white, and Indian. But being this though, like I just look so different from the rest of my family. And like I said, as y'all get to know me, I wanted y'all to meet me, Michelle. I wanted y'all to see my face, our features, the family resemblance. I want y'all to see nobody, a mother, the original mother could never be a copy of the child. These children came from me. So I'm the blueprint. With these people that no, he looked like me. I'm the original. You know what I'm saying? Some of this stuff, when you got a copy, that's why a copy is called another thing. It's called a counterfeit because it's not the real thing.
I know, right, Myrna?
You feel me? So his jewelry ain't my jewelry. His clothes ain't my clothes. His life ain't my life. But I did produce this human, this person.
Tell us a little bit about how growing up in Danville is for you as you.
Child. Hold on, 6 wine. Hold on, y'all. Jesus. I needed to relax for this, y'all, because listen.
Take your time. We ain't going nowhere.
To understand the beginning of a thing, an ethos, your personal ethos, where you begin at. To understand anything, you got to understand where you begin at. To know who you are, you got to remember and know how you start. You feel me? So you can't delete who you are. You can't be the greatest that you be if you just try to, ignore where you came from. So I came from Danville, Virginia. Like I told y'all, I have 2 sisters, Nikita and Ebony. People that's from Danville, Virginia, they know Nikita, they know Ebony, and people that's from Facebook or from Virginia, they know about my family. They know me, Keena, and Brandy. They know we sisters. They know definitely my sisters hate me with a passion. they know all about that. They know I haven't lived in Danville in years, but yet I'm one of the hottest topics that still to this day at 40 years old that probably came out of this city. A lot of people, if they didn't die, then they still there, been there all their life, never really been nowhere, really did the things I did. But I've always respected where I came from and carried my city and represented it anywhere I have gone. And the people that wasn't even for me, that was on my side, they basically rock with me now as they have came to learn my story after I opened up and started sharing things I was going through. Now they actually have became my support.
Awesome,
So
awesome.
I was just a regular, I was a little girl. I mean, people always said, like, she was pretty, she was cute. Like I said, y'all, I ain't saying I was all of that, but I'm just saying people have always said that. Like, I just stood out. I was happy. My granddaughter, Naomi, that y'all seen up here, and my little grandbaby, Nyla, that I had for 3 months. That, I mean, if you see Naomi, you seen them. But if you see them, you see me. That's how I was, just happy. I was just free. Always loved people, talk to people, act, sing, dance, do anything. And basically, I was just born to a mom that she hated me because of my dad, because of my aunts. Like, my dad, my aunts, they was, in the South, they call them red phones, big light skinned women, pretty, long hair. Everybody liked them. They was popular, wore nice clothes, fashion. You know what I'm saying? So she basically took that out on me because I came out, and she couldn't, he hurt her, and whatever they went through all my life, I've had to bear that on my back since I was a child. Since I was a child, never did nothing. You a child, you innocent. My sisters, like I said, they had a different dad, and their dad, Floyd, raised me. She did have another husband who I had his last name Wiles, but that's her story to tell. Her husband, how that happened, what they went through. I just know my dad and his family. I only know love and no unconditional love or any type of love at all to make a choice on, hey, I'm gonna be this type of person or this type of person, is because they loved me. Like, they knew what my mom was doing. They knew she was hurting me. Like, I remember being in kindergarten a couple of times they called the CPS on her because I've always, like, I bruise easy. To this day, like, you could just, my husband, if he hold me tight like this, you'll see the whole handprint, the bruise. One time my ex, like, he beat me, he would choke me. The doctor would see his whole hand around my neck like a necklace. Like, my family at one time, they got so mad they just seen the handprints every time you turn around my neck. Like, this is facts. But she tied me up. Like, I'm just telling y'all about my mom. Like, I remember that she tied me up. She tied me up. She beating me so bad. It was like, I'm just a kid. I remember I was in kindergarten. Like, they took me in the principal's office and they called her in, and she was always just so hard, like, didn't care. Oh yeah, she did. I'm just a kid. I'm just a kid. She left me with my sister's uncle. He raped me. It's fact. She act like it didn't happen. I asked her years later, I said, Mom, did you know that Nucci was doing anything to me? I blocked out, I think, the actual molestation because I tried to go to get there. When I started going to therapy, I tried to get a hypnotherapy to see, can I bring that memory out? But I do remember that I started going to therapy because I called her to ask her, did she know that this man was molesting me or that he raped me? And she said, she didn't say, no, you're my child. She said, you was always in men's faces. You was a happy child every time you turn around. And I'm like, I just was in shock. I'm like, you mean that children are happy? Little girls are happy. You singing, you're free. You have innocence. How does being a happy child, how does that give anybody the leeway to rape you or molest you? And like, I was left to him. He babysitted me. I remember being in a gown and him getting up off of me. I remember him putting me in the tub. And I remember that she tried to, like, she didn't care, but years later they found out that he had raped and that he had been having sex with some of his own, like a niece or something like that. Like some of the other women in the family. The girl went to the hospital and they found out that her anus was messed up because he had been
my
having sex with
God.
her anus, and then
Oh.
one other one got pregnant by him. So that, I mean, that proved that it was true. But imagine, like me, every cookout in the South, the uncles and stuff, they just say anything. Like when I just went to my cousin's funeral, his dad, who I only know as Uncle Ray, his sister got mad at me because he was like, "Damn, Shell." You feel me? It's like I didn't say anything because that's what you get down there. That's how they act. I didn't say nothing, but you know what I'm saying? That's how, I mean, I ain't saying it's the excuse. That's how it is. My mom was raped. Her mom was raped and molested. My grandma didn't care that my mom, and I've seen them two break down in each other's arms talking about my grandma worked all the time. And if they try to tell her she would snap out, they would get their ass beat. They was left here, left there because she was working. All of this is important because if you learn this in the beginning, then you would know why there. That girl always stayed home. Didn't let nobody keep her kids. This how much she, because that's what happened with how my mom and my aunt. That's how I grew up, knowing that grandma only cared about going to work. She left them with any and everybody. My mom said, and then my mom and Aunt Faye broke down one time, and my mom said, "Well, Faye, her sister, my aunt, she said, well, I got raped, and I let stuff happen to me, so they would leave you alone." And then Aunt Faye started crying and said, "Well, even though you did that, they still got to me too." And then they both, like, this is a generational thing. You feel me? But the only
Hey,
difference is,
Nicole. Happy
it's like
Bible
my mom
Bible, my
sacrificed me.
baby.
You feel me? Like she didn't care. It's like she took the
The,
anger that she had out for my
define
dad.
sacrifice. She said sacrificed you.
Yeah, like, and that, I mean, it's a story connected with that. Like real, it's like that's how I feel like my family have always done. It's just like she's a throwaway. From when I never even, before I could ever even do nothing, live life, make one mistake in life, it's like I was Cinderella. Cinderella is a real story to me. Lachelle do the dishes. Shell do the hair. Anything she found out I do, I excel in. I sew. Like I used to write and write songs, poetry. I have won poetry contests because I used to put all my feelings into a poetry. I write everything I feel they was doing to me. And I think that's how some of the people I went to school with, they learned about this stuff because they learned about it as I've been talking about it online. Like when I was getting bullied, I wasn't getting bullied because I was dirty, my clothes was messed up. We lived in good neighborhoods. We lived good. The only thing was my mom just didn't love me. You fat. You 500 pounds. Keita and Brandon, come here, laugh at her. You think you all of that. You ain't shit. You think you just like your aunt. That's why your daddy, how Abdul, that cursing you dead in the grave and cursing people like that, he get that from her. Mom, you need to forgive people. Forgive your dad. She hold, oh, excuse me, y'all. She hold on to stuff. You feel me? Like she and her daddy and my daddy, people dead years and years, and she just holding on to the anger, holding on to the wickedness, cursing people. She hope people die. This the whole time. Her and anyone that's mistreating somebody that don't deserve it and doing these wicked things, her house is falling down around her.
Did you ever address this with her? Did you ever have a conversation with her about how you felt?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, we kind of like, it's kind of like up and down. Like I don't disrespect my mom. I've been forgave my mom, my family, every rapist, the man that murdered my daughter, because I know the love of God. I know the reach. You feel me? I know at the end of the day, no matter how bad something is, it's all within God's plan. Nobody belongs to us. No matter how much I love Anya, we only get people here for a minute. We get the experience. We got the love. They was here for a reason, and one day they gotta go. That's why you're not supposed to love anything more than you love God, because these things is not forever. Money not forever. A house not forever. God is forever. My kids are forsaking me. My husband can be with another woman and leave me today. You feel me? My family can turn their back on me. All I've ever had is God. That's the true T. That's the truth. But this is me and the love story of God. He my father. That's my ride or die. He's real to me. I have talked to him through this whole time in life. I have pure tatted on my face because literally that's all I got in my heart is light and love. You feel me? What she did, that's on her. She gotta die with that. She gotta talk to God with that. She gotta reconcile with God with that. But from what we see, I tell people, look at the fruits of your life. You got people talking about me, down to me. They don't even know me. And you living in an Airbnb or your life already hard and you just trying to point a finger at somebody else. Look at I'm good. I live out where a beach at in a beach area. I asked God to live by one beach because I love the water. It's my peaceful place. I live where I can go to 3, 4 beaches here around me.
So you have you're telling us a bit of foundation about how it was for you growing up.
Yeah,
So
nigga,
could
I
you
had to wear the ugliest clothes, like literally, like they would just, like she would just
Hey,
find literally.
Ace,
That's how I know how to
welcome.
dress. I told somebody, they'd be like, you got your own unique, different style. Always been like this. I learned how to dress because she would make that like get the ugliest, doofiest stuff for me to wear, turtlenecks up to here, dumb stuff, and I was shapely. Like I always had hips, a butt, boobs. Before when I went into a bra, I went into a C cup. So she just was always, she would try to like befriend kids and get them to tell on me if I was changing. Basically, she raised Keita and Brandy, my sisters, as her friends, and they friends as her friends. She would get them and their friends and make them laugh and ridicule me, or just lie. They would just come up with stuff like anything. I got gonorrhea, anything. I remember they went online one time and said I didn't graduate high school. My sister Brandy said my kids wore her kids' clothes after I sent my kids all this expensive stuff. They went for a summer. Then everything I sent them disappeared. And then years later, my sister's kids and everybody down there pops up wearing their stuff that my mom claimed was lost. It's just they was raised like, and part of
And where
me
were your
just
kids?
don't hold them accountable. You feel me?
Why you
That's what I'm
send
saying.
your kids there?
Accountability. Everybody gotta take. I'll take accountability for what is mine, but I can only pack the bags that's mine. I can only take responsibility for what I did. That's not my fault that my mom
This
just
is
broke a young
Greedy's
woman. I'm
mother.
not judging her.
Greedy's
I
mother.
forgive her. That's her walk with God. But it's like this is what she did to me, and then she raised my sisters like this. And then when she got access to my
In
kids,
case you guys do not know, this is Greedy's mother. Shaky is interviewing Greedy's mother. Remember, Greedy said how his childhood was. So now the mother herself is speaking her side of the story. So I'm just catching you up. You probably figured, who's this woman? This is Greedy's mom. And happy gobble gobble to everybody. Queen Aunt made Shell run in place last night. Oh my goodness, that's terrible. Mm-mm-mm.
even though her, my whole family love my kids, they still ostracize me, and then they raise the kids to hate me and be against me. That's
did
why
you
they got.
begin having children while you were in Danville?
I had
Uh,
2 kids in Danville before I got married.
and those two kids are
Diamond, who I got pregnant with in high school, so everybody that went to school with me know I got pregnant. And
okay.
then Apple.
Abdul, as y'all know in the comments, is Christian. So you had your two children in Danville. Then you left Danville,
Right,
pursuant to a marriage, correct?
right, right.
And
But
where
we
did
got, he was living in, Yusuf was from Philly, but I met him in Virginia. So yes, I did marry him. He was older. I was 18. Yusuf was about 30 something. So he's about 60 something years old right now. And yeah, we was together 6, 7 years. A while. He ran his own business, work as my husband does now. He worked for himself. I did, in the process of us being together, I did become Muslim, not for him. I had already been introduced to Islam, but the sect of Islam that they follow is called Salafi Salaf, which means you dress modestly. The Salafi Salaf, they mostly wear black, dark colors. You wear a face veil, cover your whole face with only your eyes. That's what he required me to wear because he felt like his wife was attracted. When I first moved, even went with him, he wouldn't even let me
I'm gonna
talk.
find it. I'm gonna
Feel
find
me?
it,
He wouldn't
Nicole.
even want me to speak because my
I'm gonna
accent
find
was
it
so bad.
and show it later.
So, but he wasn't really bad until I tried to leave him. He was a good husband. He was a provider. A lot of these guys, they seen with their own eyes and experience and knew how my family was to me. So they were very protective. He was a provider. I never had to spend a dollar of my own money. He's still like this to this day. So like when Anaya said like, oh, her dad, big back or whatever she was saying, he has 7 kids and he is a good provider. He is a good father. The
So the
issue with
man,
him is this. Sorry.
go ahead. So the man, so Yusuf, is that Abdul's and Diamond's father, or as their
No, that's
father?
their
Their father.
stepfather. He raised
And
them.
so, who is their father? And is he still alive? And
Yeah,
is he still in
Diamond's
bed?
dad. Diamond is in contact with her dad, and
Okay.
I'm not going to say names, but in really, I only told a few people like the real story. But Diamond's dad, I never told my mom and family her dad, but I knew who he was. It was one of Keita and Brady's family members. It was one of those family members that, yeah, I mean, he didn't violently push himself off on me, but he was aggressive, whatever you want to call that. And I never said anything because basically my mom, like I said, was always, you know, it's always something abusive. Like when I was pregnant with Diamond, she tried to stab me with a knife. She made me stay up all night long, 3 all types of the morning, washing dishes, cleaning, anything that would make it hard. And she basically despised me, like period. Her husband, who she's kind of mentally and physically abusive to, Todd never had any kids. He came from like a family of all women who was dominant over him. So she kind of like treats him the same way. But the only time in life I ever seen my stepdad stand up was when he protected me when I was pregnant, and he would not let her hurt me and my baby. And she
How old
told
were you? How old were you when this was happening?
I was 15, going on 16 when I had Diamond. With her telling me, she said she hope I die on the table, and she hope I die having my baby. And my sister was torturing me. Keita, the one a lot of people know because she do hair, and they going by what my sister say. Even though I think they have given me a chance over the years, as they see that I love my family and they see this hate in them. Keita, I used to fight with her when I was pregnant, falling through doors, falling through tables, over nothing. She mad because I had a boyfriend. Oh, you fixing him something to eat. You don't love your sister. Or so it was just always something dumb. But you have to look at, if you take a dog like a puppy, if you abuse it, if you kick it, if you put hate in it, then if it grow up and it's biting people and it's acting like this, is it really the dog fault? Like I didn't help a lot of pets. Like we taking it over the years. I have a dog that I have now that I got from somebody in Virginia. I went to school with, but I have helped, animals that people say is a problem. They bite, they do this, they nobody can deal with them. I have went and got them right out the shelter. They came here and acted like a sweet baby lamb in my arm. It's the energy. It's your spirit. That's how you tell. Ain't no chaos around me. It's calm. My husband can be up all day and he come in here. I get so mad. He lay in that bed. He sleeping in 2.5 seconds. And I'm like, husband, how? He like, baby, it's just when I come in here and I just touch you, hold you, just that energy. That's the vibe in my house. That's the vibe around me, period. Ain't a malicious bone in my body. That's just not who I am. But I had a lot of wicked people and devils around me though. I had wicked family. You know what I'm saying? I
It
grew
is
up with
sad.
this. Most people that grew up with something like this, they would kill themselves. They wouldn't want to live. They wouldn't want to live. I'm tortured, and I have education, and I have seen more things, and I in my mind the world was more open because I had aunts, I had people that rescued me when I was young. They came and got me from my mom because they seen how she was. So I was in the mountains of PA with one aunt and my cousin Ryan. You know, riding bikes, you look, it's just mountains. You in a nice ass trailer park. I had one Aunt Faye. She was a nurse. She brought me up here to Baltimore, to Maryland. I traveled with her. When I was young, I was really never at home because when it was me, they was trying to save me from my mom. Like, she's always done this. She's always been abusive to me. It's nothing I can do right. Does it sound right to say that every problem that's in my family is the result of me just being born, just being there, just having a life?
Do you think? Okay, so wow, it's amazing. So you bring Diamond to this world. Um, was your relationship between Diamond and Abdul? Was it? Did the relationship get better? Did your mom like children? Was she? How was she with Diamond when she was came? Or did anything change? Did it get worse?
No, Diamond, when Diamond was young, like she had, when I had Diamond, that's the first time I began to love myself. I don't even, I don't even know how I was existing before. Like when kids was bullying me at school, they wasn't bullying me like I said because I was corny. Like I got a million apologies from niggas on the phone, texting me, like guys and girls from school. It was because I was different. I was pretty. I was something. I hang with any crowd. If you was in the slow class, LP class, if you was at if some popular people, I had like a mix of people. You feel me? I never, you know how some people, oh, I only hang with this group. I was cool with people. It's always people that like me. Nobody can make everybody hate you. You feel me? But what these people found out is that they never knew when I was coming to school and they was bullying me. I got a double dose. They didn't know when I went home I was going through this. They didn't know that I was getting abused this bad and what my mom was making my sisters do. They didn't know this. It's a memory that popped up in my head, shaky, and I remember this. I was in ROTC class, and like the whole class, I always talk. That's how I got this mouth to pop back, to say something. And I got these hands. We gonna fight, but I remember I was just one day just beat me down. It was just so much, and I was sitting and I didn't want to cry. You know, you want to be strong, and I remember crying. It was like the whole class on me, and I put my head down and I was just crying. I just put my head down, was trying to get myself together. I remember the girl in front of me passed the message that they passed down, was supposed to be from the class. They said, "We don't care if you cry. We don't care if you cry." And that's for some reason, this whole situation over the few days, that's what it brought up for me. You know, it's like anytime I just be like, this not an excuse. I'm just trying to get y'all to understand how it feel when you the target, that you always getting prosecuted like this. Because God telling me to speak up because I know I'm not the only one. Is it okay that I'm in the interest of honesty? 3 days ago, Shaky, before you, Connor, Miss CJ, the many, I don't want to leave anybody out that wrote me on my Facebook, Instagram, however you contact me. This was so bad and brought back this bad memory of school that day that I said, Lord, I'm ready. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. That's how them arrows was hitting me. Did you hear Naya? She said, how does it feel? I just couldn't live if some or mostly all of my kids hated me. I just couldn't live. Did anybody think how that would affect me? You understand? We can sit here and watch them hurt their mom and say these things. We don't even know it's true. At this point, y'all ain't
Poor
even really
Shaky
speaking to
had
me.
to
Y'all got
end
somebody that's
it
finesse. They mad.
in
So they
screen
finesse,
to
but they
come.
still got a real interview. Like it was real what I said, and I stood by it. I'm never gonna say nothing. So you recorded it. It still doesn't make it less true. Somebody is touched.
Yeah, it's
Somebody was
heartbreaking.
delivered out of that situation and went and bettered their life and said, hey, maybe this ain't what I should be doing. Maybe this ain't the way. And they just, I heard they left the whole app and got an apartment and got a car and doing good with their life. That's what's supposed to happen. The only reason why that person was introduced to me or who I am, I seen somebody strolling on the page. She got a lot of pictures. He was like, oh, hold on. She's like, you know what I'm saying? But somewhere, this kid, I remember seeing him pop up on my friend request. And my friend request is always packed. But somehow he got in there. Somewhere, something inspired him from the situation that happened. He was there. It inspired this kid, and that's what it's all about. If it's something in my story that can help somebody else, that can inspire them, I know I ain't by myself, Shaky. I know I can't be the only fish in this pond.
No.
This ain't, I mean, this is, you can't make this up. Cinderella. That is a real story. When I got married, I had that pink dress because I never had prom. It was taken away from me. My mom threatened to cut and burn the dress and throw anything on it if I dared go to the prom. That was my prom. That was my moment when I married my husband, my fairy tale. That was me.
Okay, so and we'll get to that in a minute. Just getting on track. So you became a mother. Could you tell us a little bit about Abdul's father, or is he alive? Is he still existing? He's still in Danville, and what was that transition like?
He's alive. I posted the information. I posted the receipts. I don't know if you had a chance to go through, but I just
is he still in Danville?
Raleigh, I don't know. Last thing I knew, he was in Florida, but he's a producer, so you know I'm not lying. So if you know Abdul's pattern, anybody that he could use in any way, it seemed like he don't got no picks, then he latches on to them. But his dad is a producer. Like on his page, I posted it. You'll see he got a picture of Abdul in front of a green screen with video. His dad's been helping him with his career. I think at one time he had him in his studio. His dad said they still talk. He said they talk on the regular, and then he got mad at me because he think I'm lying about the havoc that Abdul over here is causing. He think I'm lying. Abdul got him thinking he's doing good. He over here got this little gig going on. He's doing good. I said, do you know your child is on drugs? I don't think that's doing good. Beating women, doing all this stuff. He ain't doing none of that. Long as he ain't getting in the game, and long as he ain't doing that, he good. He good. I talked to my son. I'm like, what are you talking about? I said, you don't even know what he's doing. This is message on YouTube.
Is it surprising to you? And your that because he led up the app to believe he had no one, but it's surprising to us to find out that
both
he's
right there in Raleigh on his pictures. I posted my receipt. The receipts speak for themselves. Anybody can tell you anything, but I deal in facts. I deal in results. I don't deal in, I mean, the shit people be doing, excuse my language, you feel me? They just not my type of people, and that's okay, but I need to see the proof of a thing. I need to see that it works. And I'm telling you that this man and his daddy, I'm trying to figure it out with y'all, because I'm trying to figure out the way he took it, like, well, he only talking about you. I said, well, Raleigh, you know this isn't true. Like, Raleigh stayed with me at my mom's house. His mom knows, like, his mom and my mom and his aunt, they all know each other. They're friends. So this whole family have worked together for Abdul. He's had the opportunity to go with his dad at one time. Everybody has tried to get him, He has lived with family members. They said he was beating women. He kept bringing all types of women around my sister's 3 daughters when he was living with her. And he was beating on them in front of her girls. And Diamond said that's why she told him he had to go. And then it's always scamming for money. And this is just, he's been doing this. It's just now he found a place where he can do it. And just, he ain't out in the streets doing it. Now he can sit somewhere and finesse. And that's what it is. Book game.
When you left and went to Philly, did he come with you? Did Abdul come with you?
Yes, when he was just a baby. I was pregnant when I was in Philly, but I came home. I remember we was home. I had Abdul. Like I said, he had it's called a long sequestration, which is basically his lung had an extra piece to it. They seen that when I was pregnant because I was with Yusuf. He went with me to the appointment in Durham, North Carolina, where he was born. It's on. That's posted to his real birth document. It's posted. I posted the receipt so y'all can go see all of this. So they said, we see this malformation. Maybe you need to, medically abort this child. We would send medical abortion because this child may have problems. He may have a deformity. And I was like, I was Muslim. I'm like, well, it's going to be whatever God wanted to be. You feel me? Whatever it is, whatever comes with this child, I'm going to take that. I'm just gonna, what I'm saying? If he have a problem, we gonna deal with it. If he disabled, we would deal with it. But when he was born, they did the surgery. That he was in there doing flips on the bed with the tube coming out, the drainage tube coming out, and that boy been held ever since. Held ever since.
At what age did Abdul, as we know him, Greedy, go live with your mother? And I posed the question because it was asked. Why, if your mother was so treacherous to you, why would you send your son to her?
All right, so number one, it was a last resort. He had exhibited dangerous behavior. He had put the other kids in danger. Not, I took my brother's toy. Not like the cute little videos you seen of somebody knocking somebody, another sibling, like regular sibling. He was actually trying to hurt them, like break their arms. Like imagine he's the older brother, bigger than them. Like I said, the house we was in, they had like a whole upstairs like attic that I made into like a wonderland. Like it was finished. It was like IKEA, like kids would come to my house and disappear upstairs, right? So he was up there hurting them. They younger than him. So as they start, mama, it's like you do everything that you can to help your child. I got him therapy. We were Muslim. He went to the masjid with the brothers. We put him in counseling. He's had therapy, speech therapy. He had a problem with his teeth. I had to get silver caps put on his teeth instead of getting the ugly porcelain ones. I got him the silver ones, and I seen him pull them out one by one by the root, all because he couldn't. Greedy boy, because he couldn't eat all the food he wanted to eat. And if you let him eat all he wanted to eat, he would eat till he throw up and throw up all over his room. And then you gotta let him eat again, or he snap out and had these violent rages. He's been like this since he was young. So when I couldn't take it no more, like I prayed, I did everything I could. The last thing that he did that was like, okay, I gotta send him to my mom. Where do you send a problem child? Foster care. I lived in a different state. I'm not gonna sit, Another factor was that I lived in Chester, PA. Chester is violent. They don't play that stuff with outside, like how he go and he used to get in trouble wherever he at. He just talking his shit, and he in another nigga city, and he used to have so many guys threaten to kill him. They would be on his Facebook reading, "We gonna kill you. You stole this. You stole that." He goes state to state. He probably can't even go back in the Richmond area. Like he just everywhere he go, he burned himself out with people stealing the stuff with the drugs, owing money. It's just like he keep burning bridges and he don't care.
But Lachelle, in all honesty, were you honestly sending him into a better position? Because you described your
She
conditions
loved
living
them.
with you.
She loved my kids. My mom, how she
So she
felt
didn't.
about me.
So the abuse that Abdul describes, which sounds eerily similar to the abuse you described, did that happen to him by your
My
mother?
dad,
Where did,
I'ma keep it a bean with you. Only he can tell you, but I do know this. I told y'all what my mom did to me, and I was honest. And the thoughts to send her to him is questionable. But in my young mind, being a young mother at that time, is I live in Chester. If he grow up doing this, if he go to high school, go to school, stealing niggas' iPhone, all the stuff he did in the South, my child would have never lived. You know what I'm saying? He would kill him. If he would have went to Chester High School and stole somebody's iPhone, they would have killed him. They was shooting and killing. Like, and me seeing that far into the future with my spiritual gift and how I was praying and putting a praise on it, it's like, I didn't know what to do. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm like, my mom is one of the toughest people I know. Though she did abuse me and put me through stuff, it made me tough. I wouldn't have survived what I went through in life with my heart being soft and forgiving how I was. Like, I'm still that way, but I'm tough now. I'm tough now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know how to have discernment. I know when enough is enough. I had to make it through some tough cities. I had to watch my back. I've been around, made it out some dangerous situations, and I wouldn't have had that type of, you know what I'm saying? That's why I said everything, you got to have a relationship with God to understand everything happened for a reason. You feel me? Somebody meant it for bad on me, but at the end of the day, it's what helped me survive. Because I was strong, I wasn't weak. So she one of the toughest people I know. Like, you know how he was acting up, and then I would have to beat him. He'd get up when I had to beat him. I didn't like beating him. I was scared to touch my kids and beat my kids for a long time because I was abused so bad. I didn't know what abuse was. That's abuse to me. I was so scared to touch them because I was abused so bad. And then when you got kids and you see they misbehaving, my kids call you act like a white mom. You like a white mom. You know what I'm saying? You have to discipline your kids. So I'm like, now it's a difference between abuse and discipline. You feel me? Like, if we put you in the corner, took something away, sometimes you have to spare the rod, you spoil the child. You feel me? And with him, it's the rod wasn't even working because you would beat him. He get up and do the same thing, do something worse. The same. Does he do this now? Does he do this now? Whatever he do, no matter how bad people find out, y'all say y'all will help him. Y'all say whatever. He go back. He just doing the same thing over and over again. So it wasn't working.
So you had additional children while in Chester. How did those children fare? Obviously, for Abdul/Greed, it was not a conducive situation. How was your other children faring during their time in Pennsylvania?
We ain't have no problems. Like I said, I had a husband just wasn't even a regular. I can't even tell you they have an average like black kid background because I'm not from the hood. I didn't raise them in the hood. They've been in the suburbs. They had everything. Like when I tell you, they was little kids with 4-wheelers, the biggest cool trips, anything you can think I could lavish on them with love, I gave them. But I gave them love too. I gave them hugs, story time. I didn't even give them sandwiches. I would feel bad in life if I gave my family sandwiches. I cooked 3-4 meals a day, plus healthy snacks. They didn't even drink sodas, didn't eat candy. Like literally, the not strict is just a life of love and everything that I can give them, plus love, attention, and time. But with kids, like I said, understand if it's any people that's watching that have a lot of kids or you got kids and then they grow up, they put you in the middle. They get mad. This one mad. No matter how much time you give one, oh, you ain't give me enough time. You love her more. They always putting me in the middle, but it's my job to stand solid on a foundation. I love all of y'all. Like how they try to divide up and group it up. Like he said something that was, oh, she grouped us by fathers. That don't even make sense. How do I group y'all by fathers? Y'all all my kids. And everybody that's ever been with me loved my kids as they own and took care of them and was a father figure to them. Like the 2 fathers that Abdul have known, they both raised him as a dad, and they both know what Ubaydah talked to his dad about this and told him what he was doing. And his dad is like, he already know. They knew him as a child. His dad, I met him when I was 18, Riley. If y'all want to know about him, I met him when I was 18. So I was young, met him out one night, whatever. So I already told y'all I had this trouble. You know, I was locked in. So when I did start going out, or whatever. It was like, I just remember my mom, she put me and Diamond out on the street in the snow one time. The cop cried, said, why you put your daughter out? Like, it was people in the hood that helped me, that looked out. It was hood niggas that was like big time in the hood, not on some, oh, I smashed you. Like, really got a hotel room for me and my baby, brought her milk, looked out, got clothes. It was a friend, Tashima. I blocked Tashima and got into it with her because I found her in Abdul's inbox, and I was trying, that's when I'm finding out, like, hey, he finessing, he get, he always messed with older women. And this girl was Tashima was in a car accident and paralyzed from the waist down. So you see how he running ripped and all these women of different ages, different genders. I'm like, Tashima, you my friend. You know, this my child. You from, why is y'all in each other's inbox? You feel me? This was my son. Yeah. Why are you in? How did I get in his inbox? Because he was locked up. We was talking from jail, talked through the years. I went to visit him, and that's how much he trusted me. Y'all, I'm plugging up my phone and moving my phone.
Do you feel like there was any abandonment, or maybe he could have felt abandoned when you sent him to live with your mother?
No, because he wanted to go. He stated that he wanted to go, and Diamond wanted to go too. I didn't even want to send her. Diamond wanted to go. My mom, I guess, when they was in the back room, when she came to get Abdul, she talked to Diamond, and Diamond came back like, oh, I want to go with Abdul. I got to help him pray because they was Muslim. She said he needs somebody to pray with him. That's my brother, blah, blah, blah. And imagine, like, I felt defeated as a mother. You feel me? I was dealing with this. Like, this was my last resort. This was not easy. This wasn't a wake up one morning. This is literally, I'm trying to save my child. You know how some people send problem children to boot camp? This was like my mom is one of the toughest people I know. She's family. And I knew that she loved Diamond and Abdul because I was telling her about some of his problems, and she was blaming on me. She said, well, nothing wrong with him. He's a good child. It's all my fault. It's me, and me. She wanted Diamond and Abdul. She convinced Diamond to go. They wanted to go. So he actually wanted to go. So he capping with y'all with that. But go
Has
ahead.
he ever have since that time? Has he lived in your care?
No, but I did go visit him in placement and talk to him when he went through all the stuff with court. Like, as I said, I called him when they was down there, offered to send my mom money, care for them. But she literally was like, I remember I called a couple of times with friends, with family. They heard it. She would make them do what she made my sister do, ridicule your mom. They didn't get the hate. They didn't get the stuff that I got from my family, which is weird because...
Does your mom skew his vision of you to him? Do you believe that?
At the end of the day, I mean, even if we get him that, like, I can't speak on. I can only be honest and tell you what I know. If I don't know, I'm gonna tell you I don't know. I'm gonna give you the realest answer I can, and I'm not gonna try to shake off responsibility. All I know is when I called, I'm telling you, my perception was that she was making them do it. But when I asked them both, when they was grown, like recently, the last time I talked to Abdul a few years ago, I confronted them about this, and they both said that it was, don't blame grandma, don't blame my mom. They said they did it because they wanted to do it. Diamond just told me this recently. Me and her on the house right now. She said, don't blame my mom. It was her choice. She laughed at me. She really killed me. But then, like I said, this is just the kids. Then you want to come back when your life is bad because you're making bad decisions. Even though I've been there helping get my grandkids, helping you, everything my husband helped you, then she'll swing back. Oh, when I wanted a mother, you wasn't there. But she's in front of her new boyfriend and his mom and his family. It's an attention thing. You feel me?
Have you ever had the conversation? Have you ever had the conversation with them and to find out what is their true, authentic view of you and your hand in raising them initially in their life?
I heard what they said. Yeah, I I didn't care. I didn't want them. I was never there. But when I was calling you, checking on you, you wanted to go down there. I told Diamond not to go down there. I told her. I never wanted her. We had this conversation. She didn't care. She wanted to go down there. Because she thought she was going to be free. And it was going to, because this is what my mom led them to believe. Your mom is bad. And, whatever she was telling them, I can't speak for that. But I just know she guided them to come to her. And then when they got down there, she just didn't expect that Abdul was going to become a problem like that. That's what happened.
In your rearing him until your mother did he exhibit any alternative lifestyle sexual behavior or anything that would make there was nothing that okay.
Never seen it. I said that before. Like I never the child that I seen that was a son that exhibited those maybe what I interpreted, why I interpret it, like I had a child, I don't want to say his name because he haven't came into this situation, he haven't spoke against me, and I don't want to put him out like that because he's kind of quiet right now. He's actually a good child. But this child, one of Yusuf's kids, the three, Sadiq, Fawaz, and Anaya, these three, he came in the room like the boys would be playing upstairs. The girls had their room downstairs, and then they had a outside backyard. They had a tent. I had like 3 grills. They had a pool. We lived in the suburbs. They had a huge backyard. All the kids play back there all day, and then they had their own separate room. So that's why they were separated. So if Anaya's saying that, hey, I tried to go play with my brothers and she got mad, in fact, if we was in the house and it was the girls with the girls and boys with the boys, that probably could be true, but not in a malicious way. It's just the boys play upstairs in their room, the girls play with the girls, they play outside as sister and brother. But you have to remember that Abdul wasn't they had different dads. So they wasn't really you gotta protect them, kids, they get curious, you don't know what they doing. It's upstairs. The boys, or if kids play, you can play freely up there because all the parents is right here at the table and we can monitor. But if we just in the house, I can't monitor and put my eye up there to see what y'all into. You understand? So just for the protection of all the children, I just kept them where I can keep an eye, and then I could pull, like I said, if one like arts and crafts, then I do arts and crafts. If one like to cook when I'm cooking, then come cook with me. I try to make sure they all get like their own individual time. And the only way I can give y'all an idea of this is like, John and Kate plus 8. You see how she broke them down? She got their chores. That's how I am, like OC did. So I had everything organized out. And like I said, Abdul started exhibiting these issues. So I need to keep an eye on him and watch and see what's going on. You feel me? Like I just needed to know what was going on. But this child, the brother, I just remember him coming to the door. Me and the girls was painting fingernails. He had took marker and put marker on his nails and said, Mommy, I want to come in here with you and my sisters. I want to paint nails. See, I did my nails. Me being young, when I seen that, I was scared. I didn't know what this mean. Why would you mark your nails?
Hey, Miss Leo, happy gobble gobble.
He wanted to be with the girls and not his brothers, but I didn't understand it. You understand? Like I'm young. And his dad is a devout Muslim. In Islam, that's not allowed. He would have just snapped out on him.
And whoa, this is a long interview. But I just want my Leos to know next week I am starting a channel only for Leos. It's going to be called Leo Living. Leo Living. So if anybody in here is a Leo, I'm starting the channel just for Leos. Because my girl got me expired. She got a channel just for Scorpios. Well, us Leos need a channel too. And I'll be doing that next week. But let's finish with this.
So a lot of things about this was scary dealing with this. I'm just like, I said, for why I didn't yell at him. I always had this mothering with my kids. Why did you do that? Well, I don't know, Mom. He just had the softest, gentlest spirit. You feel me? So I just didn't want to I didn't want to, just breaking him. He always wanted to be up under me, this child. He always wanted to be with me and his sisters. And like, but Abdul, no, I would have never seen this coming in 1,000 years. And I kind of feel like what he's doing is more like of opportunity, and like that guy said about him, I think it's almost like grooming. You feel me? You just a young man in the world, and yeah, like he around these older men that of questionable sexual orientation, because you can't, some of them we don't even really know because they haven't presented to us what they're into. You understand? It's like he got questionable. If you are what you are, stand up for that. I get that. Like shaking. You say I'm this and this is what I am and this is what I identify with.
Hey James,
That's what it
welcome.
is. But
Happy
these
gobble
people is
gobble.
questionable, and they've been
During,
around him for a long time. I don't
during
know.
the time that you sent him, so you sent him to your mother, and you said you hadn't talked to him about this. During that time span, what was your life like? What were you doing in life? What were you experiencing during that time span when you were separated from him? Of course, he was going off being him. What were you doing?
Like I said, my life has been pretty consistent. Colorful at times. It got real crazy at the end, but basically just consistent. Always had a
This is
home.
Greedy's mother, whoever's
Wasn't
coming in.
homeless or
This
anything
is
like that. Now,
Greedy's
when I first
biological
moved to
mother.
Philly with
Greedy's
Yusef,
biological
he
mother.
wasn't really that
Gotta
stable,
read
but
that
we were
title.
married. But basically, I took matters into my own hands. I had a connect from back home in Virginia. I'm up here in Philly. I left that man a few times because I'm not the one to play. I'm a young girl. You 30 something years old. He get me up to Philly. I find out some, things ain't really what you said. You got some things going on. I'm just smart. I'm good with business. I'm good with money. I learned to move around. Philly is a second home to me. Chester is a third home to me. I've lived in Texas and I've been in Georgia. So it's like I learned my way around. I wasn't this young girl lost. You couldn't sit me somewhere. I didn't know where I was. I couldn't drive or get around. But when I had to get away, I left him, and then we had like a solid, relationship, 7 something years solid. But in the beginning, it was just so rocky because he had a wife for so many years, and I guess when he met me, they were separated or just divorced, and he was kind of still in love with her. But that had nothing to do with me because I didn't even know. I didn't know a lot of this stuff until I came to Philly. I was kind of bombarded. And then I left him maybe 2 or 3 times. And then finally I was staying somewhere. I was teaching at Sister Claire Muhammad. Abdul was with me. And I took him to school every day. I took Diamond to school. I made our overgarments by hand. I taught other children and I taught teenagers in the school. We walked every day. But I said, I'm just like, I'm up here. The rent and shit is high. If you're from Danville, Virginia, in Philly, in the city. And I remember that when my mom, she went from Section 8. Now she got a husband. She's a homeowner. She bought a home. The home that she in, she owns it. It's like a pretty big house. But she basically always told me like I'm gonna make use of the system, do right, do what I'm supposed to do. And she basically always kept a clean house. She was cool with the inspector, but that inspector, he became a director of Section 8. Like he became the head guy. And Mr. This man, like he was cool. And he always was good to our family. I just called him and told him the truth. I said, Mr. Terry, I'm up here in Philly. I'm married to this man. And it seemed like it's a lot now. I have left him. I'm with my kids. The rent is high. I'm paying $2,000 something dollars for rent. Can you help me? And he did. Who gonna say something to be mad about that? You feel me? He said, move home for a year, which is how I got home a couple of times. Move home for a year. And then he said, if you move here, I can give you your voucher. Never went on a waiting list, never signed up. It was just a lookout. I just think that's just being smart. Who wouldn't take that? But I took that and I utilized that. I was good with my money. You feel me? I took my money from school. I went to school. I went to college. That's how one of Yusuf's wife, me and her went to school together. I to this day can't tell you how she like it's like so many moving parts to this story. But I took whatever situation I was in, I adapted. I got that voucher, went home. He used to got into some type of crazy situation. Somebody was trying to kill him, a past girl that he had dealt with, that he got into some legal troubles. And we moved back up here. Like, I got to move early because of that. We moved up here, and after that, he kind of like calmed down. So all these kids, like I said, they were just, it was calm. Abdul and Diamond left, and Sadiq was just like, he loved his dad. Me and his dad went through a divorce. I had to leave him. He just put me through too much stuff. You know what I'm saying? The women, one girl, Anaya have a sister that's 2 months older than her. That's part of her issue because she needs attention. She don't feel like she got attention. That's what she told me when we just seen her a few years ago. You know, they came to me with the mom, dad is doing this and I hear steals and she makes, you know, this is kids. I don't know how much this is true because now you got two parents that's not communicating, and then you got kids that tell this parent one thing, tell this parent something else, keep us both away from each other, and then they try to get what they want. That's understandable.
Do you feel like during that time that you made...
Hold on, shaky pause. This is to make you laugh because we've been serious for a while. They going crazy over there on my page, getting all my receipts deleted. Why do you gotta delete my receipts? If that's the truth, why they gotta get them deleted? I don't understand.
I think people, I find that on this, I find that sometimes like the truth is the truth. I don't even defend the truth no more. If y'all want to do that, I say what the truth is. I mean, people believe they could have stand, but
it's just the fact that it's the proof for me. It's the receipts for me, because they always, I hear them asking him always for receipts of these stories, and I see him just flim flam them and stretch the time out, and he's getting money, but he never show up with a real receipt. It's always, it's on my computer, I'm gonna get some, but these are the real receipts. So why they going so hard to delete it? I am everywhere, y'all, because this is a complicated story. Like, it's a lot. I told you
that. Abdul Greedy mentioned to us that his mother was passed away a few months back. Who was that woman? And what was she? Who was that woman?
That's a lie. He never had no foster mom. He kept running away. If you was to look at the receipts, if they ain't deleted, then it was a text. Me and Diamond was always writing each other, and the text was talking about how they had him trying to get somebody from the family to get him, and he kept running away. He was running away. He was doing stuff in all of their houses, and they would never tell y'all this. They don't want nothing to do with him. They don't want nothing to do with this. It would have to be probably a lot of money involved. Maybe possibly they would come and say something for money. You feel me? Money is the root of all evil. But hold on, Sheik. What you asked me? I'm sorry.
I just asked you if so the woman he was speaking of doesn't exist.
Yeah, that don't exist. That's what he do. When he say when he say, and then you say, well, who this person, y'all try to zero in on who it is, that's when he been doing this for a long time. 3 days before me and my daughter was ran over and hit, a counselor called me and said he took a phone and threw it through a plate glass window, and that he did it because me and my daughter had died in a car accident. Like, he's been using this story. These are the same scams. He will call you in the middle of the night. One time he called me and said he bought a car. He had a Charger. The wheel was a flat. He had money, but he couldn't get to it. Could I cash app him some money? Everybody that really know about this story, they know he's been doing this for a long time. The whole he need cash app, he got money, but he's been doing that for a long time.
He mentioned that he was molested by a family member, maybe an uncle.
No, he said his sister and brother, she up in Philly and Upper Darby, she had daycare like for kids that she had it in her house. What I heard, he said it happened there, right? But
Okay.
I don't know nothing about that. When this story came out, he was with my mom. When he told me this on the phone, I was ready to go sit right then and there. I was just, y'all see how I was acting when they called me K9 and the twins. I couldn't sleep. That's why y'all see me. I was upset. I'm like, but he's in Virginia. I'm in Chester. This is years and years later. This ain't like a month later. This is years. I'm like, but listen, the statute of limitations might not have ran out. I can go confront her. Like, but how I was coming, I wasn't gonna be able to go and have a talk at that time. When he first told me, I'm just like, I'm going up there. I know it's still weird. They probably still live in this house. I'm going to knock on her door. But when I asked, he told me, no, don't do it. He said, if I go tell, it's gonna embarrass him if he got to tell the story. That's what he said. All of this, he told me I didn't care. Now, if that happened with my mom, then I don't know about that. And when I asked my mom, she said, she said, I'm gonna tell you the truth. That's when she started telling me she was having problems with him. She said, I don't know if it's true. She said, I wouldn't worry about it. You can't go up there. You might get yourself locked up or your head blow off. From the way we finding out that Abdul lied, who knows if it could be the truth. But at that point, she didn't tell me about some of the things he was starting to do down there and how bad it was getting between him and her. But he stole all her jewelry. He stole money out of my mom's purse. He used to sneak out of the house. That's why I guess if she put bars and locked the doors, that was why, because he kept trying to run out to the street. He was stealing cell phones, anything, iWatches, anything.
Happy gobble gobble.
She said she was fine and stuff. But this
yes,
is how
I'm on today because I will not be on later.
Him. She would lie. If the cops came for stuff, she would say that it was already hers. She bought it. Like, she helped him for a long time. They really didn't go on the outs until he threw her under the bus and told police she smoked weed, sent the cops to her house, and that's when they fell out, basically.
Some might say, though, that all of his actions are one big, huge cry for some type of help. Did you ever think that maybe, did you ever look into maybe therapy or some type of child advocacy or something for him?
Yeah,
even in
he had counselors. That's what I'm talking. Like, he had counselors, state counselors. One lady, she ended up getting excused because she ended up having feelings for Abdul. She was calling me from Virginia. I was working with them from Delaware. Even after Anya died, before she died, for me to come down there, for me to get him, for counseling, for me to win him from the court. But at some point, I met a wall with this lady because she had developed feelings for him, and it just went left. Like, I don't even remember why she made me mad. Just something, she was just going so, like, Abdul, like, she was going hard, like they was in a relationship or something. I don't know. My mom said that she was gay, though, so I don't know. But it's been a habit of his, right? That he manipulates people that try to help him. The court system, the caseworkers. During this time he was going through this, my family was getting him so he wouldn't be in placement. They was going to court when he was getting arrested for stuff and stealing, and he had to go to court. They was letting him get parole there. They was helping him get out. Like, this worked his way up. He went from the detention center to like, it didn't just happen.
To the people that's coming in, this is Greedy's biological mother.
He went through
Greedy biological mother,
going to the detention center, and then kept running away, gang life, all this stuff. And then people kept trying to help him. His dad tried to get him. One time I tried to get him, then he said he didn't want to be with me. His dad was going to get him. Then his dad went to get him. He said he didn't want to be with him. Like, it's nothing that nobody to me can verify that all this help that was offered to you, you feel me? All this criticism people can bring. You should have did this. I never got any help like this. Nobody ever offered to help me. Now, mind you, I never made a choice to go into a life of crime, steal phones, I never did this stuff to my family, and they hate my guts. They hate my guts. Never smacked my mom, never stole her jewelry, never did no shit like this to her, but they hate my guts. But he did all this, and they still love him and still help him and still rode with him. until he turned on them, what he eventually do to everybody. We'll be sitting here. It wouldn't matter what nobody. It was you. How does it fall on me? He have a dad. And what if I was dead and he had to go to his grandma? It's called a family. You understand? At some point, it's like, damn, oh, you don't want to take responsibility. What do I supposed to take responsibility for? For trying to do the best that I can? I'm not held accountable to nobody but God. I did the best that I could. How is it cute and why is it acceptable? This is how people are. You got one person doing the foulest of things. They cursing their mom, punching women in the eye. They robbing you. He gonna rob you next after this. But I did what I did because I had to do what I had to do. I'm gonna get this printed on the shirt. It's funny. Does that work for me, Shaky? Can I use that? Is that a blanket statement? Do I need to get this on a t-shirt? Let it be in Swarovski crystals. I did what I had to do and let it be that because that's what he said.
Some people would say that the job of a parent is unconditionally doing the most every single time, even when faced with the worst and most adversarial of circumstances, to still and through that unconditionally be a parent. Do you feel so? And some people will say that it's never enough, and even after you try and fall,
I do. Sometimes, like when you're in a relationship and you love somebody, but they hurting you. That, like I told some of these girls, these victims, you have to love them from afar. If it's hurting me to love you, right? I had other kids to live for. I got other children. Whoever of my children decide, I'm going to be defiant. I'm going to allow my mom, whether it was a lie, the truth, whatever it is, if they decide to take that path, guess what? I have 8. It only takes one. Even if I just got the one that died, I know for sure loved me with her whole heart. Even if I only got the one in there, that's enough right there. All I need is one. Everybody else, if that's the path they want to take, then that's on them. But at this time, I had other children to live for. You understand? I mean, this would have been, he's still having these problems to this day. This is a lifetime problem. And he's in these hospitals and mental hospitals that he's been in. Y'all missing the part where he had a mental diagnosis. So that's not my fault. He needs professional help. He needs professional medication. He has been diagnosed as basically like a sociopath, like one of them cult leaders that get people to drink the Kool-Aid. He's handsome. He's charismatic. He's easy to get people. Like, he's been diagnosed with this.
And I don't dispute any of that. But just to clarify, you said you'd be okay with just having the love of the one or the rest of your children, and not the rest, not all of your children.
No. Let me just be clear. I love all of them. It's nothing that they can do. It's nothing in the world that they can do to separate them from my love. I'm a mom. I had them. You understand? But right now, sometimes the only thing you could do is cover with that love and prayer. You understand? I pray for him daily. I prayed for him through these 3 days. I was mad. I was hurt more so what they said, because I knew the love I poured into them, and they was everything I had. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't easy for me to let him go. That was the first crack in my wall. You feel me? Over the years, I just had to learn to, like, hey, when Yusuf took my kids and disappeared with my kids, y'all don't know, y'all wasn't there. Y'all wasn't there when I cried so many lonely nights in the room. I ran to Philly back and forth for years, arguing with his family in Philly, trying to force them to give me an address, arguing with the grandma, telling her I took you grocery shopping. I didn't chill with her. She knew what he done to me. That wasn't right for him to take my kids because we wasn't together no more. And then this has been admitted by him to his kids, and he basically told them to make a choice, and they chose him. They didn't choose him because I was bad to them or because I was abusive to them, as Anaya said. That wasn't the case. They chose him because now you done stole these kids. All they know is you. All they know is their stepmom, his wife. They didn't get the chance to be with me. But I have been trying to repair that. I've been trying to talk to them. I got receipts. I ain't even receipts. Put them up for what? I'm gonna keep y'all. They gonna keep taking it down. We gonna make the truth disappear. That I've been there the whole time. At first my approach with them was, after everything, I need to tell them what I went through, what happened, the sacrifices, you feel me? But then I'm like, hold on, because my friends and people kept talking to me like, listen, it's time to just skip that. You feel me? You can't do nothing about the past. Start on a new foot and get them a chance to get to know. Y'all got to get to know each other all over again to rebuild, right? So that's what I've been working on. That's the place I've been at. The only one I haven't really talked to has been Abdul. He the only one until this stuff popped up with the Wind Twins. He was blocked because of some arguments. No, because he came to Dover with a gun. He popped up out of nowhere. He knew I wasn't there. We were at a funeral, like a hour drive away, when he called me and said, "Oh," he said he had a music contract. He was on tour, and he got off tour especially for me to see me. And when he described where he was, he said he told several stories. First, he said he caught a ride from the tour bus. Then he said he got off the tour bus. Then he said he seen these white boys and he hitchhiked a ride. Like, I don't know what is the truth, but this is his pattern. This is what he did. I said, Abdul, I said, we not there. I told you we was out of town. This was a Sunday, the funeral. We rode back an hour ride, and then Ubay had school the next day. So Ubay had school. So when he called me, it was like maybe 4 in the morning. Mom, I'm here. He never said nobody was with him at first. And he said, can we meet? I said, your brother got to go to school. I never told him no. I ain't say I didn't want to meet with him. I said, your brother got to go to school. Let me get him up, get him together. You feel me? Get him to school, and then I'll come and get you. At first, he said, okay, right? So then I'm getting Ubayed up, getting ready for school. Then I get another call. He said, well, I'm at the hospital where Anye died. I'm at the Crozier because he's good at getting around where places he don't know. He didn't
even know, Shaky. He was literally like 2 minutes away from where I was, but he didn't know.
That even if it's from your child, and it's women that got aggressive and got children that got. I went for a funeral and I didn't know I was getting them, but I got them. After that, they got into a fight, and then he said, no, I don't, I met him. That's not, all that stuff is like he went along with the story, and then comes out that I told the truth that he lied. But Money Man, I would like to find out from him, like when my mom said that Abdul, that cops was looking for him when he got arrested for his gun, did he steal the gun from Money Man? Like, do Money Man know about this? Was they, if Money Man know about this, right? If they was up to something together, then I don't think he would out himself. You feel me? Because that's a crime.
Do you feel Abdul is a member of the LGBTQ plus community?
Only he can answer that. I don't know what to make of this, but I mean, that's like I tell y'all. Let's look at the receipts. You've been with trans women. You've been with regular women. Has he been with men? Because that seems like that question is up in the air. I don't know if it's because he's really that, or if it's maybe he discovered that he had. I mean, he's been in jail, y'all, a lot since he was young. He been in and out of jail. I mean, two types of men come out of jail sometimes, Shaky. You know that. I mean, it's 50% this, and then it's 50% that. So maybe I don't know.
Would your view, would your view of him change? Does that change anything about how you feel about him?
I've always, even when Anaya, when she was like, when she didn't tell me that she was bi or she was gay, her brother for Wise, when he went home, he told me behind the scenes, but he didn't stay because Fawaz said that he knew that Sadiq and Anaya was playing, and I guess to steal from me. Whatever they playing was, it backfired because they didn't know like I was gonna be on their heels. They wasn't gonna be able to run over me. That I'm a real mother, right? So
Has he?
I didn't
Has,
know that. She didn't tell me, but I'm telling y'all how I suspected that she made like women is because when I would give her hugs and like we watching TV, a couple of times it got weird as a mom, and I had to tell her like, Anaya, get up, look, listen, I'm your mom. I know you wasn't raised with me, and we've been apart. I said, but I'm your mom. You know what I'm saying? And then I just tried to reinforce a mom and daughter relationship.
has Abdul ever brought someone to you and alleged that the person was their child, his own child? Has he ever introduced anybody to you as his child?
No, he's never introduced me to no one. But the baby that I posted on my page, the girl that he posted, the little baby, that girl, she actually got mad at me. But it's like he would call us every night. I think about every night I would talk to him. He would be in the studio. I would hear his music. I told him to put it on YouTube. I posted him. He asked me to post him on my social media. But every other day, as his mom, he would call with a girl, Mom, this my shorty. Talk, y'all, shorty, this my mom. People be in the background like, that's your mom. She's pretty. Oh yeah, I like her. He'd be like, Mom, we doing this and that. But it was like every day, every other day, sometimes 2 times a day, he always called with a girl. What he told me about that girl, first he said he had, like when he was with her, he said she was his friend. He was just staying with her and she was pregnant. Then he said, Mama, I think, he always told me, I think I got a baby on the way. And then when she had the baby and when he fell out with her, I guess, and he went on to another girl, then he was like, man, I don't even think that's my baby. Mama, that ain't my baby. I'm his mom. So now I don't know. So when the girl called me with the baby, she had went to my mom with the diaper. They accepted this as her baby. So she called me for a check. You feel me? And that's okay. That's my grandbaby. I don't mind helping. It's my grandbaby. But this what it is. I told her the truth. I said, look, I said, being a mom with sons, I'm just learning the game. They call me with girls all the time, and I basically don't take it serious until they tell me it's serious or you a wife. You feel me? Because I've been through this thing. You get invested, your emotions get into it, and then it end up being something else. So I told the girl, being as though I know Abdul's personal history, and maybe she didn't know that he was seeing all. I would even ask the girl sometimes, and I'm playing with him. I'm like, girl, why you with my son? And he'd be like, Mom, come on, man, don't do that. I'd be like, really? You his little whoa? Like you his little back, you his ride or die? And every girl, oh yeah, I love Abdul and da 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 da. So I told the girl, I said, look, get up. He had left her. She wanted support for her child. She asked me for a check. She's saying like, this my grandbaby. I said, I don't mind helping you. I said, but what I think I need you to do for yourself to protect you and the baby and to get the support that you deserve, just get a DNA test. Get a DNA test. Make sure that this is really his son. Then you got the documented proof. And then you can call me for anything. I'll do all that I can. I'll do all that I can. And she got mad at me. She said, well, I took her to your sister. I took her to your mom. They said it's definitely his child, how she looks. I told her, the girl looks can be deceived. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know. I'm telling you, girl. I said, I'm just telling you, that's how he rolled. He from girl to girl to girl. How many girls supposed to be pregnant by him right now? If they all call.
And everybody said he's in the queue. Kicked him out of the room. I want them kicked out. And that's just period. I don't have a lot of it. I don't play with him.
In circles. Let's just get him some healing, some help. Maybe. And I had 4 queens. I've always told them that. If y'all seen any of my receipts when I was texting him, writing about him, it's like, this my son, my oldest king. I've never addressed him as anything other than that.
What the fuck? Oh shit! What the fuck did I do? I tried to reset it, but he should have. Did I reset it? Oh, I did. So let me get these.
If I was mad, I wouldn't be saying nothing. I wouldn't even be here. I would have left. Now I'm
One
willing
more.
to have this conversation because you're mediating. Most of y'all girls don't even know these dudes. He's cute. That's all y'all got for me, that y'all taking and downing somebody's mom, wishing death on somebody, and making up all these excuses. I don't care if he got banned. All of these people that's up in here, y'all go help him get here. Like y'all help him get on everybody else's page, and y'all help him with his wickedness, then help him to get up here and talk to his mom. Because we need to hear some shit. I've been ready for Helen Shaky. I've been praying for my child to be saved. I want to see God. I love my kids. She love a man. Did y'all come up with that from my story? Or is this because this is what he told y'all and y'all going
All right,
along
so
with it?
they are working on getting his page banned. Do you mind if, in the meantime, we bring up a couple people from the audience to ask you a personal question?
That's fine.
All right. So, quickly, one question per person.
Interview, do you plan on rebuilding your relationship, or do you just want to talk to him?
I'm his
No,
mom. Of course I'm going to get mad. Come
she
on,
doesn't have,
Abdul.
she doesn't have me on hold. I just right now. Lachelle, if you want me over there and that's comfortable with you, I will come and stand by you all night if I need to. But I will talk to you prior to that happening. Trust me on this one. I'm not telling you no. Whatever going on between me and whatever, it's nothing going to stand in the way of that. That needs to happen tonight. Is that understood by everybody? Greedy would happen. Empress would happen. I'm telling you how it needs to happen. The only way it needs to happen. Is that cool? Does everybody understand that side?
Mm-hmm. Empress did not ruin anything. Y'all stop saying it in the comments.
No. Empress didn't ruin that.
I talked to Shaker.
Nobody
I
ruined
talked to
anything. Miss Empress, this is my first time talking to you, regardless of what anybody could think about me. You what?
I've been taking Empress, like, you know what I'm saying? How do you feel? Is she muted, y'all?
All right, guys. This is the end of the video with Velvet Tears of Joy and Greedy's mother. I'll be back with a better discussion. I am out of here, but I'm coming right back. Because y'all will not see me for the end of today.
I don't got to come to
and
Empress because
tomorrow.
Empress don't have to be
So
up
we
here.
got a lot of work to do.
By myself. The fact of me not wanting to come over here to do it because it was biased from the beginning. Like Shaky had me